Hello everyone, hope we're all doing well. This is Paul from the Pen Academy. So in this video, we're going to be looking at how to do top-down analysis for intraday traders. So you guys all know that on our channel, we normally start from monthly, weekly, and daily. And this one gives us the direction. This one gives us the structure for swingers. This one gives us structure for intraday and below. So we have received a lot of DMs and emails saying that some of you are purely intraday. Majority of you who are following us or who have subscribed intraday, and you're just learning how to swing, which is okay. So our approach is the same. The only thing that changes is the time frame. We have done a tutorial on that, but you guys are requesting for a practical session. So allow me to use this video to educate you guys. It may not be very live, but it's just a video. You can watch it over and over so that you can be able to practice and learn. I'm going to use gold, but use it on anything of your choice. Can be synthetics, can be cryptos, can be anything, stocks and the rest. The approach is the same, right? As long as something, just use structure. We're just going to use structure or something, as long as something has the candlestick, right? So we're going to be using daily for our direction, and we're going to be using H4 for our structure, the first structure. Then we're going to be using H1 for our second structure. But since we're interested in intraday, I'm going to look at the direction in daily. Then I'm going to switch to H1 so that I use H1 to get my structure. Then our entry will be in minute 15, right? Let me just repeat that. We are going to use daily for direction. Then we're going to use H1 to observe the structure that we want to trade. And then we're going to use minute 15 to take our entry. The same thing that we have been doing, right? So, but before we go any further, you guys, as you're trading, make sure you are aware of fundamentals that are happening. For example, I'm recording this video on a Thursday. Today, as I'm recording, there's interest rate, but most of the traders are not aware about that, right? So what you have to do is to go to Fast Bull, check the calendar that they have that. They give you a detailed calendar that explains a lot of things that you need to understand, a lot of events happening. So you need to be aware of that. Also, they do offer analysis on different things like stocks, cryptos, forex pairs. Then also you can look at news, right? In case you don't have any gadget that provides you with news. As a trader, you need to be aware of what is happening in the industry. Then also they provide AI signals, which you can confirm with your analysis. This one will make it's like a shortcut. So you look through what they're providing, then you compare with your analysis and see if it is okay for you. A lot of things. So my favorite part actually is something very different that he deals with the institution, but that's for another day. But what I'm so much advising is make sure you're checking out the calendar so that you're aware of what is happening. Today we have the euro interest rate, and most traders may not be aware. Please, if you have a phone and you feel that you're busy to use a laptop and you're in a busy place, make sure you download the application of Fast Bull, right? So that you do not get caught offside. So let's go back to the chart. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using gold, and I'm going to be using this one of the analysis that we sent out, right? So there's a time we sent out analysis. Actually, the last time we spoke about gold, I told you guys I wanted gold to come back and retest this area here because it was not tested, right? Let me just go and show you in daily because we're going to be using daily. If you guys recall this area here, we said that we had a level that was not tested here, a false breakout. So we wanted the price to come back and test it. And that time when we spoke about it, it was here. Price did not come back down to touch this area here, right? So we're waiting for price to come back here. Then we go and target the level that wanted it to reach. The level wanted price to reach was this area here. But what happened is price went and did what? Let me just clear this to make the chart clean. Price did what? Price went, didn't touch our area, went up and hit the target that actually we're targeting. So meaning that this trade was not valid. It didn't fill us in. So the market came back and touched our area. So I'm going to be assuming that you want to do intraday here, and you are going to do what? You want to capitalize on this move upwards, because intraday, these are very many pips. Intraday, we're targeting between 20 pips to 80 pips, at most 100, right? Because you don't want to stay in the trade for very long. So allow me to use a replay mode, because I didn't want us to use replay mode going forward, but allow me to use replay too. So I'm just going to remove it here. Now, as long as the price touches your area of interest, which was this one here, because this is the area we talked about. So when price touches your area of interest, this is support. Why? Because it was a previous resistance here, you can see. We just change the color to blue. I was saying that was previous resistance here, as you can see. Again, your price reacted to it. And then again, you see price broke above, came and reacted here to show that this level is significant. Then we had a false breakout. So that's why I wanted price to come and touch, but didn't. Again, price didn't come and touch. So some of you may say that this is liquidity here, but this is just a false breakout, right? So the market has touched our area of interest. So what's the direction here? Remember, I've said daily is for direction. Don't forget daily direction. We're going to use H1 to get our structure, and then our entry is going to be minute 15. So let's start from daily. Daily is giving us direction. What do we want to look for? We want to look for buys. But now, why are we going to stop? We're going to stop this in this point here. Why this point? Because you can clearly see the market gave us a low, lower high, then attempted to break below, then made equal high. So meaning that this area here also is like not tested. So the price has to come back into this area from here up to this area. That's why I've marked this area here. Let me just repeat that. The market made a low, lower high, then attempted to make a low, then came back and made equal highs. You can see here, then the market has now broken down, touched this area, meaning this area here, this area needs to be tested. Let me just mark it using a slab. Let me just mark it using a slab here, right? This area here needs to come and be tested. This is going to be our target area. So remember, this is just direction. So we're going to go to, you can look through H4 to see if H4 is also aligning properly with what you want. So H4, so you can clearly see that we have been making, we made a low, lower high, low, lower high, low. So the market on the downtrend. So we're just going to go to H1 to identify the structure that we want to trade. H4 is confirming that we're on a downtrend, but now we're going to go and confirm the structure in H1 that we're going to be trading, right? So when I come to H1, what do I observe? Also, the market is confirming lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So the market came and made also a low, lower high, low. So the last high that the market created was actually this one here, which I'm going to be marking for you here. So I'm just going to change the color for us so that we don't get confused. Let me make it purple. So the market created this high, came back, and now it's failing to take out this low here that it created. So as long as the market didn't take out this low here, we are going to be interested in buying that the price right up to targeting this area here. So let's first observe. Also, alternatively, if you want to take a safe trade, you can wait for it to break above this area here, but this will be a re-entry for us, right? So we have already marked our areas that we're interested in. Let me just repeat, if you want a safe entry, you could wait for it to break above here, because this level can easily hinder price, or it can first stall it, right? So, and also it's a virgin area, not properly tested. Someone can say, but it was tested here. Yeah, I know it was tested here, but it's an improper retest. So we're waiting for the market to break above here. The same rules that we have learned. In case I'm very fast for you, you can just slow down the video. You can rewatch it over so it can make much more sense. But the approach is the same of what we've been doing: monthly, weekly, daily. Now here we have just switched daily, H4, H1. So I'm using daily and H1 so that we can get easy intraday and we don't overdelay in it, right, in the trade. So let's see if the market broke above that area. So this is the first time you see the market was breaking above here. So it broke above structure. You can come to minute 15. Now, when you come to minute 15, the time the market was closing, you can see even it made a pullback to test this high here, right? So you can take your trade from here, though if you wanted, you could wait for a deeper correction, but since the market already tapped into this area here that it broke here, so our target is going to be this one here. Now, where is our stop loss going to be? We have already done a video on entries and stop losses. So I'm going to identify an area that possibly the market could want to come back and test. Which area is that? We have this area here, a minor level here. So my stop loss will just be slightly below this area, just slightly below this area here. If the market takes us out, we shall look for a re-entry. But remember also, we have said that if the market breaks above this level here, you can look for another entry. So let's see how the market played out. This already happened. So someone may be saying, but already, yeah, I know it already happened, but I'm just trying to show you how you'd have approached it. Just like I mentioned earlier, you can see here this area is giving our price a bit of hard time. Came, reacted, then broke above, but the momentum up was not strong. Again, it came back. You see, to touch this same structure that we broke above. To avoid all this noise, you can check the next bigger time frame. Then the market continued above. So above here, you can be taking another entry, but just to make the video short, let's just leave it at one entry. Then remember, our target is that level up there, because we want this area here to be tested, this level. So the moment the market touches that area, you exit the trade. Now, this is supposed to be a trade within a day. Let's check if, because we entered this trade, this was 24th, then it could have reached your target also on 24th. This trade you could have entered it at around 0245. Then this is 14. You stayed in for a bit long, about 10 to 12 hours, right? If my math is mathing, right? So this is how you do intraday analysis. Just the same thing. Just change your time frame. Though I'm not a big fan of the small time frames because of the noise, right? It really disorganizes me sometimes, and also when you're occupied, some of you are still working. If maybe you go to work, you go to office, so you don't want to be doing 2 things or 3 things at the same time. You can just use a bigger time frame like H4, H1 to take entries instead of using these smaller time frames. So the same, if you want to scalp and be in for a few minutes, just shift and just alternate the time frames, right? It's the same principle. Yeah. Okay, it may look easy for me because I've done it over and over. I'm not saying it is easy like this. It's not easy like this, please. And for it not to be hard, or for it also be easy for you, what do you have to do? I'm always going to emphasize this. Please practice. Practice, practice, practice. Make sure you practice several times. Do back testing when you're free, and also get a small live account. Don't overdo on demo accounts, and then you practice, right? But make sure you write down rules after when you're back testing and see that I'm going to stick to this. This one works for me. And then add a few confluences. We have done a lot of tutorials for you here. We don't shift from one thing to another. So at least the channel should help you in making your journey to consistency very short, right? So that is it for those who are requesting for the video on daily to a smaller time frame. I hope it can really help you guys. Have a profitable week.